What's up, guys? Sloppy Wet Blue here doing some Deus Ex Mankind Divided, talking about some performance, what we're seeing with the game right out of the gate. Came out yesterday and we've been jamming it. I've done quite a few videos already on different resolutions to see the state of affairs, where the game is at this present moment. As you see, today is the second day of the release. It's August 24th, and there's been a patch update already for Mankind Divided. It has nothing to do with the actual in-game performance. As you see, it fixes some crashing issues. Some people have been reporting also that the game was having problems. They couldn't even get it to run, and they had to delete the game out of the system, put it back in. I haven't even heard a response then how it is at this present state. But as you see, performance-wise, you better have some kick-ass performance GPUs and a good system to be running at these really high settings. As you've seen, I've been pretty much doing ultra videos and stuff like that to show you the demands of how the game is running in its present state. Also, guys, I want you to be aware that there is an actual, on the forum or the website, they actually have a performance guide talking about how each setting and what it does relative to the game and how it affects either the GPU or the CPU. So I will put a link to that in the description so you guys can have an idea about some of these settings that you are enhancing or turning on or turning off, how it has a what it does in the game. It's going to just give you a perspective on that. So I want you to be aware of that as well. Alright, guys, when you go to start the game, this is what you're going to see. It's going to pop up to a graphical menu, a bunch of different things that you could do. If you go to options, it's going to come right into this. This is where you're kind of setting up your graphical options. A lot of these are in-game and some are not. So it's going to start off as full screen. Full screen is the way I run my games. Exclusive full screen is just a fancy way of saying borderless, which is if you ever run the game in borderless, it's pretty much you can minimize the game and stuff like that. You will, and they've been talking about it, get a performance increase right now if you do that route. So that is up to you if you want to try that. DirectX 12 will not be ready for this game until they're saying September 5th, so keep an eye out for that enhancement. So right now, 1920 by 1080 is the recommended resolution to be gaming at if you have 4 gigabyte card. So with GTX 980, they are saying pretty much stay at 1920 by 1080. Absolutely keep off MSAA right now. Now, funny thing is, if you go to jump up, look what happens. It says very large video memory, more than 4 gigs. So that's obviously higher cards. So like a 980 Ti has 6 gigs. Then go above it. So pretty much if you have 4 gigs or less, they're saying stay at 1920 by 1080 for the best gaming options and the best playability. Okay, when you come into graphic options, here is all the options. All right, now MSAA is an absolute leave it off. Do not touch it in game. Leave it off. All right, temporal anti-aliasing does a fantastic job in this game from 1080 all the way up. It looks fantastic. Now all these things have performance hits, especially tessellation. All these things have performance hits. Okay, so with that said, use these at your own discretion. You know, I would not be playing right now on Ultra. I would only be going up to high right now and stuff like that. As we've seen, I'm going to show you in a second a couple demos and stuff. But that's as high as I would go right now, is on the high setting. Alright, guys, here is what I want to show you. This is 1080p. This is GTX 1080. Running this game right now, I have it overclocked, 140 on the core and 400 on the memory. The game is at 1080p. We have it maxed out minus MSAA, and we also have the temporal anti-aliasing is on at this point. As you see, the FPS is kind of all over the place, man. You're having really good FPS, and then it just scatters itself. It's 80s, 70s, 60s, 70s. It's just all over the place. It definitely needs some optimization. It's just some stuff that we got to come check out right now. So right now, there's a couple things to let you guys know. Make sure all your video card drivers are updated. Vital, always something that's very common sense. Maybe somehow we forget those things. So do that. Make sure that you also have MSAA off. One of the biggest performance hits right now is the MSAA, especially at anything remotely past 1080p. I wouldn't even dare think of it. Use temporal anti-aliasing. It looks fantastic. It's on right now, and it's absolutely does a really good job in this game. So if listen, pretty much right now, if you have a 4 gigabyte card, I would stay at high at 1080p to have the best gaming experience right now. That's the way to go. That's what they're recommending. So it's something I would take into consideration that would really, really help you guys in the performance aspect right now. as I try to get this damn barrel out of the way. But that's what I would do. A couple things to let you know. Right now, at 1080p, the difference from low to ultra with no MSAA is about 25 on the average FPS. So it's about a 25 difference from low to ultra. And also on the minimum FPS, it's about a 13 FPS difference from low to ultra with no MSAA. And also what want to let you know too is on max, it is about a 37 FPS difference from low to ultra quality. Big difference with no MSAA. So a couple things to take in consideration. Right now as the game is going through its early growing pains of just being released, and it definitely needs some patching, and I think it needs some driver support as well by NVIDIA, because there really hasn't been a driver out for about a week and a half. They released a driver for the game, but it pretty much is, it's pretty much not really helping at the moment. So the game is not in a broken state right now, but it just definitely needs some band-aids. It's not performing well on across all different platforms and all different graphical cards. So for that speaking right now, we definitely need some help with the game to get it running and performing like it should. It definitely should get patched up. They're pretty good with that to get it to that point. So pretty much that is the state of affairs. This is hopefully help for you guys in some performance aspects of the game as it's in its early state.